Why did David beg God not to take away his Holy Spirit from him? In Psalm chapter 51, verse 11, David pleaded with God, saying, "Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me." But why did he say that? If you read about what inspired David to write Psalm 51, you learn that it was written when God sent the prophet Nathan to confront David about sleeping with Bathsheba and murdering her husband Uriah, who was one of David's most loyal soldiers. But when you look at 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 7 to verse 15, which is where Nathan confronted David, God never said anything about casting him away from his presence or taking the Holy Spirit. He did say that evil would arise within his house, that the kingdom would experience endless wars, and that his wives would be taken from him by his enemies. He even said that the child that Bathsheba had with David wouldn't live because of David's sin. But God never mentioned taking away his spirit. So what made King David beg God not to take the Holy Spirit from him? You know, God said something to David before he rebuked him. In 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse number 7, God told David, "I anointed you king over Israel. I delivered you out of the hand of Saul. I gave you your master's house and your master's wives, and I gave you the house of Israel and of Judah. And if this were too little, I still would have given you much more. So why have you despised the word of the Lord to do what is evil in his sight?" Let me help you understand what God was saying. God said, "I anointed you as the king. I delivered you from Saul's hand, Saul, who was the king before David. I gave you your master's house and your master's wives." David's master was Saul. He served Saul before becoming the king. So what God was telling David was that because of his actions, he was going to experience the same things that were experienced by the king before him, which was Saul. Saul lost all of these things while David served him. But the most important thing that David witnessed for himself was seeing what happened to King Saul when the Holy Spirit left him. Remember in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse number 14, the reason that David was employed to work in the palace was to play his harp for Saul, because the Spirit of the Lord had departed from Saul and an evil spirit tormented him. So David witnessed King Saul being tormented by this evil spirit from the time that the Holy Spirit rested on him, David, and departed from King Saul. It's almost as if God allowed him to see in real life what would happen to him if he disobeyed God.